What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. With the open beta of Battlefield 6 fast approaching, we are getting more and more details regarding the newest release from EA and DICE. And unfortunately, there have been some questionable decisions that are starting to be revealed. The first we covered yesterday, which was the lack of a server browser in Battlefield 6. Something we've never seen before in Battlefield and has led players to believe that there's going to be some form of skill-based matchmaking in Battlefield 6, and that worries some players. The second decision is something we found out recently, that Battlefield 6 will use bots to fill lobbies if there aren't enough players. And this one just really raises some red flags, some question marks, like what are they doing here? Because it seems as if they're not confident that lobbies are going to be able to be filled by regular players, so we'll have to artificially fill lobbies with bots, making the game feel less genuine. Like, I don't want to be loading up day one of the beta and half of my lobby being bots, whether they're on my team or against me. It's just going to make the game feel less authentic, and that's not something that I necessarily want to play, let alone put hundreds of hours into. It's just not as fun. But let's say this. Let's say the bot infiltration of Battlefield 6 is more so for a playlist, like a casual playlist that we've seen in other games, where it's half players, half bots, but it's more to welcome players into the Battlefield 6 experience. I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with an experience that is transparent, that it is going to be bot filled, that it's going to be some players, but mostly bots. That's fine with me. But if you are telling me that we're going to be playing a regular game of Conquest, for instance, and all of a sudden half the lobby is bots because, hey, we couldn't find enough people in your region to play with, I'm going to be a little bit upset. I don't want to sit there and play against bots for multiple play sessions. I just don't want to do that. That's not for me. I'll go play a different game. But let's say they're using bots to backfill lobbies when players leave. You know, you're playing a game of Conquest, you're dominating the other team, half the enemy team leaves, so they backfill the lobby with some bots as placeholders until more players can join. I'm okay with that. That to me seems like a good middle ground. But to start the game from the get-go against bots, no, I don't want to see that. I also would like to just not have bots at all. Like, we've argued this point before. I just don't think that they're the best idea for artificially making the game feel fuller and bigger than it is. I don't think Battlefield 6 needs to rely on this at all. I think this is a mistake. I think it's a calculated risk if they are going to do it poorly. But here's where I am going to give them a little bit of a pass. This might be something they're using in the beta, and that's it. I hope that's what it is. Or I hope that they've heard the voices from the community, which are not positive about this change, that they decide to revert it. Similar to the server browser idea. If they're going down this route, I really hope they're willing to pivot away from it, because it's simply not a good decision, unless of course we're discussing like a welcome or casual playlist that is completely transparent about bots. That I'm fine with. Again, I will advocate for that because I think that's great for new players. I think that's great to welcome players into the Battlefield experience. But I'm talking about the general playlist, the general matchmaking. It cannot be filled with bots. It just simply can't. I think that would be a major detriment to the game and a major mistake for Battlefield. Like EA and DICE, you have all of this goodwill, you have all of this hype, and all of us are begging you not to screw it up. And then you make two major announcements, or I guess some minor announcements, that are slip-ups, questionable decisions, decisions that really seem to go against what your community wants. Like, you're eliminating a server browser, and then you're saying, we don't want to have that because we don't want to have half-empty servers, to now, hey, if our servers are half-empty, we're going to put bots in there because that's what you want. And it just defies logic. I just can't get over it. I don't know. Like, this isn't me saying I'm pulling the chute. I'm pulling out of Battlefield 6. I don't believe in it. It's just me wondering what other questionable decisions are going to be unearthed as we play more Battlefield 6. As we start into open beta, as we get to the second beta weekend, what is going to be discovered? I pray that we're not going to figure out that this game is, in fact, a pig dressed up in lipstick. That would be my worst case scenario. But I really hope it's just a game that made some mistakes during its development cycle that they can rectify if they're not too arrogant to do so. And that's what it comes down to. Like, EA has to be willing to work with the community here and listen to the community. And when they say things like, hey, a server browser would be great, they should implement a server browser. I'm totally fine if it's not going to be there at launch, but it better be there at some point in 2026. Same thing with this bot thing. If it doesn't provide the desired response from the community, there's no need to continue down that path because it's just going to alienate players. And Battlefield cannot be sitting here and alienating players. Remember, EA has a 100 million player goal for Battlefield 6. If that's their goal, which I still think is outlandish and just not going to be achievable, they cannot ignore their community. And I'm not saying listen to every fringe opinion out there, but when there is a general consensus about a decision that's been made, I think it's smart for them to listen to it. And this is one of those times where I think they should be listening to the community. They're telling you exactly how they feel about this. So maybe reverse course. Say, hey, you know what? We're going to try it out for the beta. We're going to remove it when the game launches. Or we're going to keep it in there and we're going to do some testing on how players like it or dislike it. Either way, you have to be transparent about this decision. You can't just say, no, bots are there and they're there to stay. Because that's not going to win players over. We understand this game is going to be ever evolving, ever changing, but you need to ever evolve and change with what the community wants as well. Don't just stay hard-headed and decide that your way is the best way and every other way is not the way. Make decisions that are going to be good for everyone involved. That's what we all want to see. So those are my thoughts here when it comes to Battlefield 6 and this decision to have bots in multiplayer. It's not something I'm going to advocate for unless it's a welcome playlist, like I've said a couple times in this video. I think there are times and places to have bots. I don't think it's going to be in general matchmaking. I think that's going to be a mistake. I think that's a wrong decision. But hey, who knows? Maybe I'm the one that's in the wrong. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Do you like the bot idea? Do you hate the bot idea? Would you like to see it be in some transparent bot mode that's casual or welcome based? I want to hear any and all of your thoughts down below in that comment section. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.